Growing up with extreme social anxiety. Growing up with extreme social anxiety, the world often felt impossible. Basic things like making eye contact with someone scared me. Smiling at strangers was terrifying. Talking was the hardest part. All throughout childhood, talking was always the hardest part. I started acting because it was the only thing that made me feel like I could be myself without asking for permission. I was always afraid of doing things without permission. When I was acting, I could speak without being afraid. I was the silent kid in high school. I did a play once and people came up to me in the hallway afterwards and told me it was the most they'd ever heard me talk. I liked that I could transform, but I still felt trapped in real life. I still felt like I couldn't speak up most of the time, no matter how hard I tried. I desperately wanted to be normal. There were so many things I wanted to say. That desperation is what got me here today. Slowly, over years, through countless experiences, by leaving one comfort zone at a time and consciously deciding over and over not to let fear stop me anymore. Slowly, I found my voice, and with the help of magic or a miracle or just time, I can honestly say I've overcome my social anxiety. Finally, at 23 years old. I wish I could go back to my 16-year-old self and tell her things will get better one day. Just keep breaking down the walls. I wish I could go back to my 5-year-old self. First day of preschool when I froze up and didn't say a word all day. When my parents first realized something was wrong. To my elementary school self who could barely work up the courage to raise her hand or even tap her teacher on the shoulder. I wish I could go back to the first time I was sent to therapy. The first time I was called shy, or quiet, or special. The first time I felt left out on the playground. The first time I was forced to find a partner in class and almost cried. Actually, I did cry. I wish I could go back to the first time I ever had to do a presentation, a group performance, a dance, to every lunchroom I felt out of place in, to every time I ate alone, to every place I would go to avoid looking like a loner, the restroom, the library, to the time I got my first crush and realized I wouldn't be able to talk to them, to the times I cried myself to sleep, to the first time I spoke loudly in front of my childhood best friend and broke out of my shell. I could write forever about social anxiety and selective mutism, what it's like to be the person who doesn't talk, and the many ways people come up with to ask you why. People who knew me then wouldn't recognize me now. People who know me now might not believe I used to be that person. And I don't know. I think maybe that's kind of cool. So that was another journal entry. I know I have so many that I make videos about, but that was another journal entry that I wrote a few years ago because I'm 25 now, which you would know if you watched one of my latest videos. I actually vlogged my birthday party. I wrote this when I was 23 and first started to feel like I was finally overcoming my social anxiety, which was crazy because I spent years trying to do that, years in therapy, years trying different medications, years trying to leave my comfort zone, like I said, one step at a time, and that really is like the biggest part of overcoming it, I think, is leaving your comfort zone one step at a time. It's baby steps that happen over years and over time. It's baby steps. That's the biggest piece of advice I would give. The lights are blinking out because there's a ghost in here. I made another video on what it feels like to finally overcome my social anxiety. I will plug that at the end of this video, or you could click up here, or you can check the description box. As crazy as it sounds, I want to hurry up and make all the videos I've wanted to make about social anxiety, because I never thought I would say this, but I'm scared I'm gonna forget what it was like. It's just so wild, because until I was 23, it literally was ruining my life, and it was making life so hard, and everything was just so hard. Everything. And I never thought in a million years that I would actually overcome it. And so when I did, I mean, the fact that I did, I still can't believe it sometimes. It just made me so miserable, and it was so hard. So, yeah, it's weird. The specific type of social anxiety I was diagnosed with around age 5 was selective mutism, and it was one of the extreme types. I still need to make a really in-depth video about what it was like to grow up with that. It's just crazy to think about how different my life was when I really had selective mutism compared to how it is now, and how easy it is to talk now and just do basic things now. It's just so crazy. But it's definitely possible to overcome it. I don't care how trapped you feel by your social anxiety. It's possible. It's 100% possible to get over it. You just need the roadmap. You just need a little help from therapy, or from medication, or from yourself, like pushing yourself to be braver, one step at a time. But it's possible. I swear to you. I wouldn't have believed me if I told myself that, so it's fine if you don't believe me. Anyway, I hope that this video was relatable in some way, possibly helpful in some way. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment below, tell me what you think, tell me what you're going through. Subscribe so that you can get notifications when I upload new videos. I have this series on my channel, Social Anxiety Confessions. I also have a series called Eating Disorder Confessions. I also have recently started doing weekly vlog type videos. There are about 5 of them up so far, I think. I also have a travel vlog series called Tour Diaries, from when I went on tour from Vancouver to Toronto, down to the United States, Florida, Texas, New York City, all that stuff. And that series is also on the channel, so check all of that out, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!